Have you ever seen a logo or text animation so good and wonder, how do they do it? Have you ever been to a special event such as a wedding or a birthday and seen a photographer with all of his equipment going back and forth taking photos of everyone and everything? Today's guest will talk about these and other experiences he encountered while doing text and logo animation and becoming his family's event's official photographer. The Humanities Mass Communications Department at Norwalk Community College presents The New Directors, the show that introduces you to television's future writers, directors, personalities, and now join our host, Eric Stoltenhoff, and meet our new directors.
Thank you for joining us for today's edition of The New Directors. All of the people involved with this program are students in the television production course and are directing, switching, controlling audio, operating cameras, and acting as talent for the first time today. The guests you will meet on this show are students who, when not on camera, are behind the scenes working hard to bring this program to you with as few mistakes as possible. Each student has written and directed 4 different productions. This program will give you the chance to talk about themselves and the productions that they've created, and give you the chance to get to know them and enjoy some of the work that they've done during the semester. Our guest today is a text and logo animator and a photographer who has been doing that along with other variety of digital work, capturing amazing photos and videos and creating animations for other projects other than his. We would like you to meet today's guest, Danilo Vargas.
Thank you for having me. Hello.
How you doing?
Good.
So we know that you're a photographer and a text and logo animator. Could you please elaborate?
Sure. For the animation, all started when I was like a teenager. I always see these text and logos animations on TV, on films, and I was interested on how that was done. And I started looking for some softwares and stuff, and I find out the one that I use for this for my work is Adobe After Effects, and I took some classes on it. And after that, it was like 2 months to do these classes, and then after that I started doing work for me and for other people, and that was kind of it. In photography, when I was at college in my country, Dominican Republic, I took classes of photography, and once I started doing good photos, everybody was like, "Oh, can you come and take some pictures of me?" And when you're doing that for the first time, you want to like kind of practice, you know, and yes, I would say yes. And after that, and my family, they liked my work, and I sort of became my family's official photographer. Every time there's an event, a baby shower, a wedding, a birthday, so that's my work to do that. And I brought some samples of my work so you can see it here. So
those are beautiful shots.
Thank you. So let's see what we can see here. That's those my animations that I did. That's for my demo reel that I have. That's for a company that my friends has in the Dominican Republic, and I did the intro for the website. This is for a mall in my country that I did the animation for. That's for the Black Friday a couple years ago. This was for a credit or a short film that I did.
These are great.
Thank you. That's for a music for this band in my country that they want to do the lyric videos, and I did it for them. This is another credit for another project. And this is my photos. This is my cousin's weddings. As you can see, we took the photos. This was here actually nowhere in a park close to East Avenue. And what I like of taking pictures is like you can have those moments forever, and everybody like when you see them, okay, Danilo did this for me when Actually it was for a calendar that I did like a couple years ago. This is one of my friends' first baby that we did for the baby, remember, That's one of my favorite over there.
Composition is beautiful.
Thank you. This is still for the calendar that I work with. Another wedding that I did. that's a birthday for a baby girl, 1 year. Another. And basically, as you saw, that's what I'm doing when I'm not doing the classes. I'm either animating text and logo for other people or taking pictures.
Something to be proud of. Those are beautiful shots.
Thank you. Thank you.
So could you please tell us why you chose to take the TV production courses here?
Well, I've found myself a little curious person, and as well as the animation and photographs. When I saw a movie, I always wondered what it was, how it was done, what it was made. And I self-taught myself some things before I entered this class, but then I saw that the MCC was doing this class, and that caught my attention, and here I am.
Great. What are the most useful things that you have learned in this course?
There have been a lot. Even though I came with a little experience, one of the things that I really appreciated that I learned here was in the pre-production side. That helped me a lot. When we start doing our projects that we will see later, all the pre-productions, when you have your script and you do a storyboard and you do the shot list and then your shot list with the camera position and the camera diagrams and all of that, to later come in the productions with the shot sheet, with the shot sheet list, and then in pre-production the EDL. That saves a lot of time, and for me that's one of the biggest thing that I learned here in the course.
It seems tedious, but it sounds like it all works out.
I mean, it is kind of tedious because you have to do all this preparation before you're going to do. Even you can shoot a minute short film, but you have to do all this preparation for that. And for me, I think now that I know how to do it, when you go to do that, you're better off doing that because you will save a lot of time doing that.
Absolutely. So you talked about you mentioned that you did a couple projects here at NCC. I believe they were the Cup of Tea, Student Studies, the Nature Project, and the Orange Project.
Yes.
Could you tell us about them?
Sure. Those 4 projects were really fun to do because all the techniques and all the things that I learned here, we have to put it to use here. And that was amazing. Starting with Student Studies was the first project that we did. And as you can see here, we have to do, in this project, we learned the basic steps like framing a job, club subs, cut on the actions, and all of that. And that was really basic stuff to start with, but I was continues to progress. It helped. You can see here we're doing a cut in the action to here.
That's a great cut.
Yeah, thank you. And then Cup of Tea, I call it Cup of Coffee. In this project, I try to use, like you see here, I try to do what I learned in Student Studies and improve it a little bit with some different shot angles. And here I try to put it as smooth as I could. And here we do the storyboards and the preparations, and the EDL was really helpful to edit it. In this, we also started using Avid, and I use Logit and Test. Next was the Nature Project. It was really fun to do. In this project, we use techniques such as continuous zoom, shift focus, or rack focus, in the 6 guidelines for good composition to accomplish like line of grays, emotional lines, and simplifying the scene, as you can see here, and all of the little things. Look at the close-up that I did with the rule of thirds. And then Orange Project. This one's another project fun to do. All the things that we previously used in my projects, I did it here. But this project, also you have to do a script. So that was a different thing you have to do in the previous one. And music, effects, and text was incorporated into this project. So all of the projects were really fun to do and to incorporate everything that I learned in those 4 projects for me was really fun to do.
Yeah, it sounds like a blast.
It was.
So out of the projects that you have done, what would you say was your favorite one or your best project?
I mean, I like all of them, but I think my best project was the Orange project. Because like I mentioned before, in this project you have to incorporate all the way that have you learned in this course. Starting with the pre-production, the storyboard, the different thing that we have to do here was the scripting. And you have to do a script, incorporate an Orange into the project, and then all the techniques that we use, that we learn, is incorporated into this project. And also I use, as you can see here, I use black and white to this project, and in this, that's another effect that I use in Avid to learn. I mean, they learn how to do it, and everything else, the charts, the rule of thirds, the depth of field, all of that I learned in the previous was perfection to do this project, and I think it came out very well. And even though the actors, they weren't actors, they would do it for the first time, I think they did a great job, and it was a great product to show, and I'm proud of it.
Great job.
Thank you.
You mentioned a variety of things that you've learned in this course. Where do you see yourself going with all the skills that you learned?
Well, I mean, like I mentioned, that all the things that we learned here, then one of the like I mentioned before, one of the most important things for me was the preparation of it, because sometimes you have your script and you do all this preparation and you go to shoot, you can have a better idea of what you're going to do, save time, work better with your crew. They will have a better idea of what your vision is, and then in the production side, the slate was something new for me, but it's helped a lot when you have the name on the take, or in the scene and the slate, and then you go to the post-production to create and build your sequences, and it really does help a lot. And I try to use what I've learned here to keep creating good projects, and try to do as good as I can with it, with the things that I learned here.
Well, it seems like all your hard work has paid off, because you have beautiful shots and edits.
Thank you.
Today we got to meet someone who shared with us his experiences in two exciting parts of digital production, such as text, animation, and photography. As a new TV director, he hopes to apply what he has learned here at NCC to do more artistic photos for his family events and more interesting animations. He also plans to use the new knowledge from TV1 to keep creating good composed photos, videos, and animations in all of his future work. We would like to thank Danilo Vargas for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting me. It was a pleasure.
We hope you enjoyed meeting one of television's future directors, and we hope you will continue to join us each week as to watch our progress. Thank you, and have a great day.
Thank you, man.
This has been The New Directors with your host, Eric Stoltenhoff, and directed by Gloriana Respirino. I'm your announcer, Stephanie Garvey. The New Directors is a Norwalk Community College student production.